Welcome to the Vegas Life Podcast. My name is Chris Cash.
Alan Turner, the Rhythm Realtor.
Yeah.
Kevin Sherbert.
And we got a special guest in the building, Mikey from the American Energy Fund. And it's Mikey, not Michael, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
Amazing, brother. Amazing. Outstanding.
Yes. So, Mikey, the American Energy Fund, explain to us, what are we talking about here?
So you guys are real estate guys, right?
Yes.
All right. So you're not going to like this, but I did solar. I started in solar.
Okay.
And so we can talk through that if you guys want to.
I hate... No,
What?
you make it
it's
so
all
hard
good.
for us. No, I'm just going to go ahead.
I actually want to make it. I can make it easy for you guys, but I'll get into that. We can get into that later. So in solar, I work for a company called Solar City, which is now Tesla. So I worked for Elon Musk, and I got into understanding, okay, alternative energy. I wasn't super a green guy, but I knew that I wanted to find a career. And my mom was in real estate. My dad worked for Mandalay Bay. So I had two options, right? Okay, cool.
So you're Vegas born, right?
Born and raised here in Vegas.
Born and
man.
raised
So-
in Vegas.
so-
There you go.
Yeah,
Vegas life.
it's a pleasure to be here with you guys. I'll keep it short. Basically, I realized that the long-term strategy of the United States was to rely on overseas oil.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why I got into solar initially, because I was like, okay, if I don't want my children or your children's children to go to war over American interests where the oil and gas pipelines and refineries and oil fields are at, we got to put up more solar.
Yeah.
Well, that was a great idea 10 years ago when I started this, but
Yeah.
then 5 years ago when AI, cryptocurrency mining, all the EV adoption, electrification, more homes, more people coming to this country, data centers, we are at a very bad place when it comes to our energy grid. So the whole point was to basically have energy addition, not energy transition. I'm not a big climate alarmist. At the end of the day, yes, we are doing something to the environment, but I knew that if I could go and figure out a way to scale our ability to rely on onshore oil and onshore energy with geothermal, nuclear, solar.
Right.
I don't really like wind, but wind,
Nuclear.
natural gas, nuclear, obviously. Then somebody had to do it, and we can't rely on our politicians to do it, because unfortunately we've all seen the last 20 years they all say something and really not much gets done, unfortunately.
Right.
So I said, okay, well, I'm going to take this into my own hands, and thankfully because of solar I was able to make a lot of money and serve my clients, built a 53% referral business, so I did very well.
Nice.
And at the end of the day I was like, I want to do something much larger than myself. Read a bunch of books on it, found a mentor, started a fund, started investing into it myself personally, and then I was like, okay, well, I guess people want to give me their money now, so I need to go get a lawyer and figure out the whole fund situation.
How's that work?
Yeah.
How that works?
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. So anyways, so we invest into oil and gas wells, solar companies, nuclear, or pretty soon nuclear as soon as the regulations, red tape gets off of it, and geothermal, stuff like that. So we're trying to save the country ultimately.
Nice. I actually have a lot of questions, and I just wanted you to explain all that. But I guess where I want to start is where did you see the need? Like, where did you see the demand for what you're doing now? Like, how did you see that?
I just filled up my gas tank.
Right, and you're like, there's a better way to do this, right? Or,
Not even. Everyone's using gas.
yeah.
Everyone's using electricity, and there was basically three industries I can go into: casinos, real estate, or healthcare. And for whatever reason, I didn't want to do any of those.
Right.
I not that I didn't try. I did try all of those, not the healthcare side, but kind of I did. But that's more on street stuff.
Yeah.
Being in Vegas.
Gotcha.
Hell yeah.
Gotcha.
And
keep the party going.
Street pharmacist.
Keep the party
Let's go.
going.
So I knew that energy was a industry that was going to be around forever, just like medicine is, right?
I got you.
I was like, okay, well, if that's going to be an industry that I can build in long term,
Right.
why not do that?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if I failed, I can go move back with mom and dad, start over, and keep on going.
And you'll have all that knowledge that you gained from going on and trying to do everything that you were doing.
Correct.
Right? So what is it exactly that you do with your company?
We identify cash flowing businesses that are
Okay.
too big for small business loans and too small for big bank loans. We inject
Okay.
capital in them, get equity,
Okay.
give them debt, or we get royalties.
Okay. And are they specific to energy companies?
Only energy companies. yeah.
Energy companies.
Yeah.
Okay.
So solar, oil and gas, again, nuclear, all this talk around these data centers that are coming in. There's $7 trillion worth of investments that's coming into our country. Apparently, we'll see. But those places need a lot of energy.
Right.
Yeah,
And you can't. Unfortunately, I would love to say, oh yeah, put solar on the roof, it's going to work. No, you need a lot of land for solar.
Yeah.
So ultimately, we had to figure something out. So it's all about energy addition, and at the end of the day, we're trying to make sure that the cost of energy at the gas station, at the pumps, at the homes, and then obviously transportation, because eggs, everything else costs go up with oil and gas. And if we can keep that low, we can put more money back into people's pockets, and hopefully they can stay out of
Curb
debt.
inflation.
Yeah.
Help me with interest rates.
There you go.
So we're not all real estate. These are the two realtors. I'm the mortgage guy.
Awesome.
So
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
so I
that's right.
care about this guy. This guy's going to help me keep inflation low so we can cut interest rates.
Correct.
So basically, you're looking for companies that are too big for small loans, but too small for like the big guys.
Bridging
right?
the gap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What kind of companies are those? Like,
So we've invested into companies like Chevron, Shell, EOG. I'm sure you know Chevron.
Yeah.
We own wells with them. So they fraction off a small portion of their wells, their sites that they drill, and just to basically hedge against risk. And we are able to get inside of that and access the cash flow that, as you guys know, record-breaking profits every single year. These oil and gas companies.
Yeah.
And there's that, and then we go and find other operators in specific regions of Texas, Louisiana, Dakotas, Colorado, and Oklahoma, and identify them, interview them, and then if I'm not going to go to dinner with you and actually have a relationship with you, I'm not going to invest into you.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of
it's
silly, but
it is what it is.
but these wells will last 50, 60 years.
Right.
And so that's a relationship with the operator that I'm not going to go on vacation with you.
I got a quick question regarding gas prices.
Cool.
Right?
Go ahead.
So what I've heard is that even if oil prices come down, gas prices, we have a problem with with the refineries on the West Coast, right?
All over.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the shortage. Or are you guys helping with that?
So it's not that I don't want to get into refineries. Refineries are great, but
Doesn't seem like many people want to.
Why?
But we got to make gasoline out of oil, or otherwise oil price doesn't matter. Gasoline's still gonna be expensive.
I'm confused with that because that's how like Rockefeller made his whole thing was the refineries. It wasn't necessarily the wells. It was refining the oil because you still need to refine the oil to use
order to
it.
put it in your car.
So I don't understand.
But that was like years ago.
I know.
We're talking about now.
We're talking about the ones that he did are closing.
Right.
So
Exactly.
we need new ones.
So I'll give you the short. I'll give you the short on it. So American oil initially was basically sour crude.
Right.
And so that was like the surface level stuff, not super deep, before they did all this like super deep drilling and out and out drilling, like a mile down and 2 miles out drilling.
Right.
All that stuff was sour crude for the most part. And all of our refineries were built based off of sour crude.
Right.
And so most of our refineries now
Don't even work.
The oil that we have now is all sweet crude.
Right.
So it's actually better. It's
the
much
deeper. It's like
It's the
You
much
don't have
deeper.
to refine it as much.
You don't have to refine it as much. So then now you got to spend hundreds of billions of dollars to redo all of these, rehab the infrastructure on the refineries. And so that's why a lot of our oil comes from overseas and we refine it here. And then we sell a lot of our oil. So the hard part is
we get shitty crude from other places and then refine it with our outdated refineries.
correct.
Okay.
Because we don't want to retrofit or spend the money to retrofit so that we can refine our own oil.
Right. Well, so to be
What are these people doing?
To be fair, the last three presidencies was I'm going to come in and I'm going to unleash American oil.
Right.
And then it was I'm going to first day one I'm going to stop American oil.
Right.
If you're an investor and you've got hundreds of billions of dollars, are you going to invest into an area where they're going to stop selling
like 4
candy
years,
bars?
every
No.
4 years, right?
So as a business owner, it makes sense why they're not doing that. Plus, not only that, you have all the red tape around the climate activists that are saying, we want to stop oil and gas. Everything in this room is oil and gas.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know that. Like your
rubber,
suits,
yep.
your tires, the
Plastics.
spandex, plastic. I mean, everything. This is unless it's metal, this cord is all derivative of oil.
Oh yeah.
Your computer,
You
this
can't
is all
get rid of
derivative
oil.
Wait. Explain that. I mean, what do you mean it's like oil? Like I don't get it.
Petroleum. Like
What does that mean?
it's in everything. Plastics.
Oh, it's in there, like the rubber, plastics.
I mean, just think
This
about
whole-
plastic
all
itself.
of this right here, these buttons, all of these buttons is all derivative of oil.
what does that? Wait, what does that mean? Like
It comes from oil.
Oh, it's made from oil.
Right. The oil's
It's an
in
oil
it.
product.
In
Right.
it. Okay. No.
So you can't get rid of it. The activists are idiots.
Yeah, but not necessarily, the energy
Showing
of
signs
it, just
of
the
idiocy.
actual product of it is what you're talking
It's
about.
technically it's a byproduct. They didn't have nothing to do
Right.
with it.
Right.
They used to throw it away, and then inventors give it to American inventors.
And made it into plastic and
Plastics
rubber
and
and,
everything.
stuff like that. Okay, cool. So oil is the main energy source. Is the next energy, source? Solar? What's the next thing?
I am known as Mikey Solar.
Okay.
But yes, it was 93, I believe, 93% of the energy that was put onto the grid last year, 2024, was solar.
Okay.
Because the incentives and the regulations around putting up new oil and gas was basically de-incentivized.
Right.
Okay.
And so all these companies with all these tax credits, the IDCs, the TDCs, the ITCs, the marks, the depreciation was all put towards renewable, which is fair. But it confuses the American public to think, oh, we can just get away from oil and gas. We cannot get away from oil and gas for, unfortunately, many, many years. We can't replace it yet. I would love, if I could snap my fingers right now and live in a oil-free society, I would love that. But fertilizer, everything in the hospitals. I mean, it's like we don't have the innovation for that yet. But at the end of the day, we're gonna become billionaires off the crumbs of Exxon.
Yeah, because I see a lot of new builds promoting that they're all solar powered and stuff like that.
It is what it is. I mean, solar's great. 99% of the time, solar's an outstanding product as long as you're buying it and getting multiple quotes and you know how to buy. Right. It's funny because nowadays, right, you have ChatGPT and you have the internet. So I don't know why people are still getting screwed in solar because you can see what the prices should be on the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
And then people just don't look, I guess. I don't know.
People are lazy.
Just relying on people.
Yeah.
People are lazy. That's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
So you said solar, gas, and you said you don't recommend wind power or
As an investment, no.
no?
to have if you were like a prepper and you had some land out here in the Northwest or something like that,
Get your own turbine,
have one of
right?
The smaller turbines,
Yeah.
those little rotator ones, not the big ones. Those are great.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, natural gas and solar are the cheapest forms of energy.
Okay.
Unfortunately, nuclear has a bad name because of Hiroshima, Nagasaki, all the spills
Meltdowns.
and stuff, meltdowns, right?
That is probably the best if we could.
Is it really?
By
Yeah,
far.
oh yeah. If
Oh,
you could
wow.
do nuclear power, it
Wow.
never ends.
Well,
Really?
how many? Is there any different like forms of it?
Yes, there is now. So now they're changing the name to fission and fusion.
Right. Smart.
And so they're rebrand.
The small
it's a rebrand.
cells, right?
I
It's a
really
rebrand.
like fusion.
Right.
I'd be like, yeah, I'll give fusion power.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's nuclear, bro.
And the sun is a massive fusion ball up in the sky, and we're
That's
getting
pretty
it.
much nuclear. We just take it from solar panels, right?
Correct. We're able to harness it from solar.
True.
And so we need more energy addition, more all energy sources. I'm not super pro coal, but we need it because if we're going to go back into our another industrial revolution, industrial
bridge the
age,
gap, right, for
we
now?
have to for now. Again, I am
Clean
a solar
coal
guy.
is what they call it.
I know. I don't know. That's why it's the buses here. They all have it's an oxymoron. It's like
Carbon.
CNG, clean natural gas. I'm like clean. No. You just can't see it.
Right.
It's not clean, but the American public is so like
If it's not brown in the air, it's clean, bud.
yeah.
But yeah, it's still bad. Not as bad as
it is bad.
diesel, but
Correct. But at the end of the day, we've got a lot of innovations around like capturing the carbon emissions,
Right.
and turning those into useful products. And what's cool is that the industry is evolving so much. Within the last 10 years, the oil and gas industry literally has changed overnight. I mean, it's night and day difference.
you just said a term that carbon capturing.
Yeah.
So, like I always thought, like okay, if you have pollution problems, right, as a part of the solution, as we move away from burning natural gas, burning oil, burning diesel,
Right.
why don't we have big ass air filters, in cities, right, that capture that? What do you know about that? I mean, is it something that they're actually doing on a big scale?
Not on a large scale yet. So the problem is that we live in the community called the world. America is by far the cleanest country. Our air, our water is the cleanest by far.
Right.
And so our neighbors are the ones that, at the end of the day, there's really no accountability, which is the unfortunate side.
Right.
And they're just flaring. They're not even flaring the gas. They're just letting all the emissions out.
Right.
And it's really, really toxic. But in America, there is regulations around that where you have to actually flare it and burn it off. But carbon capture is a new technology that's really, really cool, and it will help us. It will suit the needs of the people that are saying like the global warming stuff.
Right.
As far as Las Vegas goes, where do we get most of our energy from?
Natural gas.
Natural gas.
It's about over 60% of it.
60%.
Yeah.
What about the dam? Wasn't the dam like
You're funny. It's funny you bring that up because I always thought like, oh yes, the dam powers this whole damn city.
That's what isn't that the myth or the
Well, that's what they
myth?
say. But yeah, I guess they do burn a shit ton of natural gas, huh?
If I can sell you this phone for $1,000,
Okay.
but you would pay $1,500 for it, who am I going to sell it to?
Sell it to the highest bidder, right?
Who's the highest bidder that's near us with power?
That's near us with power.
Yeah, that buys power. California.
Right.
So the majority of the power goes to California.
From
So
the
from the dam.
Oh.
So does our water.
There's the water too, right?
Yeah.
Get it. I get it.
You know that Las Vegas is actually the most efficient city in the entire world with water?
Really?
In the entire world.
Yeah.
Las Vegas is the most efficient.
Yeah, we
city.
recycle like 100%
Or
of it.
reclaimed.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Except
Yeah.
for when it's in your yard. That's why they don't have lawns anymore.
Yeah.
Because you can't reclaim it after it goes into the dirt.
Wait, so we I don't get it. Wait, so we
Every time you flush your toilet, every time
Mm-hmm.
you wash dishes, whatever, that all goes to a treatment plant back out to the lake.
Yep.
So we're like almost 100% recycle except for irrigation
yeah.
because you can't recycle the water when it lands on the rocks.
Right. And so what I learned today is that the power that's generated through the dams
Hoover Dam.
is sold off to California to make more money, right?
Right.
And Boulder City.
And okay, yeah. So wow, I didn't know that.
So what's some of the things that we can do or, common people can do to maybe benefit from, the
Your
the
business.
changes in
I'm just
energy?
kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
And-
can we
and
help?
things
Yeah.
So it's a wide open market. Most people don't know that they can buy a hard asset with an oil and gas well. They don't know they can do that. They don't know that it is very similar to real estate, except for the fact that we don't build up, we drill down. And
So you're saying we can buy wells? Is that what you're saying?
you can buy land,
Okay.
lease the land to an oil and gas company. You can buy the mineral rights below the ground,
Okay.
which is basically like air
Now you're
rights.
talking. Yep.
Mineral
Now
rights.
you
is-
talking?
Yeah, light bulb.
He asked about mineral rights last week. Or someone did.
No,
Was you?
the Vision did.
Okay.
Our
Yeah.
guest did.
Yeah, mineral rights are where your generational wealth comes into play.
Right.
And they call it oil rich, not real
Yeah.
estate rich for a reason. Real estate. I have a real estate portfolio. Love real estate. I'm actually a lender. And I have some rentals as well, but I'm trying to get away from investment real estate and just trying to be a lender. But Americans, if you go the traditional route, if our generation goes the traditional route that our parents and our grandparents did with the American dream of investing into stocks and real estate, at the end of the day, what just happened with the last couple of weeks?
Just
Like
went plummeted.
everyone's freaking out.
Yeah.
And
Right.
unfortunately, most Americans, they can't hold on and they realize those losses and then they don't get in and it's already back up.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the goal is to invest like a billionaire, not like a millionaire.
Yep.
And so billionaires, 46% of their portfolios are into alternative assets. And so one of those assets is energy. And so if you're using it, like if you have an iPhone and you don't own Apple stock, what are you doing?
Wasting money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you're buying your gas at Shell or Chevron every day and you don't own their stock, what are you doing?
Right.
And so the next level above that is you can actually go out and participate as a group, kind of like a syndication, if you will.
Yeah.
So like the people that are listening, it's more like it's kind of like a syndication where you go in as a partnership
Yeah.
and
Right.
you buy these packages of wells or leases or land or mineral rights or, hey, we're putting up a solar farm or pipelines. And most people, I didn't even know. I didn't even know you can go out and actually buy that. I mean, I've heard of it, right? The Beverly Hillbillies or whatever, like they all, right? But I forgot. I didn't know. I didn't realize that little Mikey can go out and buy this oil and gas well or this land and participate in that. Most Americans don't do that. It is on purpose. The government puts in regulations. You actually have to be an accredited investor to invest into most of these oil and gas deals. And so
Right.
the majority of people,
They don't do it.
they don't do it because either their CPA makes them write off all their income, and so they show $60,000 when they're making $300,000.
Right.
And now you take yourself out of an asset class that all the billionaires are investing into.
Right.
Wow. I didn't know that either.
Right.
That's dope.
Is there a way to invest in the energy that we actually use, right? Like NB energy, or just is there a way to invest in the energy that we actually are using?
Yep. So you can buy Berkshire Energy or Berkshire Hathaway stock, and they own Berkshire Energy, which owns Nevada Energy.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm every state I've ever lived in, I've always bought if the power companies
company.
are public.
Yeah.
They're a for-profit business, and it's roughly 10% that they can profit a year. And so if you have kids,
Yes.
if you gave your kid the option of 1 Snickers or 2 Snickers, how many is he gonna take?
2.
Okay, so if the power company is willing to profit 10%, are they going to take 8%?
No.
No, they're going to take all of it. And so if those companies, if there's a net migration, positive migration into a city, that power company's, I mean,
Caking it.
pretty darn sure going to make a darn good asset for your portfolio.
Super dope.
It's very easy, starting with stocks, because you already buy it on a daily basis. Whether you have a Tesla or you have a petrol vehicle, you're buying energy on one way or the other. You might as well participate and go from a consumer to an investor, and that's the goal. Most Americans don't even think like that. They just trust their financial advisor. I'm so anti-financial advisor, generic financial advisor. But they don't know that they can do that. They just think, let me just trust them and buy this or that.
They'll figure it out.
I love it. So you're saying if we buy the Berkshire stock, we're actually investing in the energy that we're actually using here in Las Vegas.
Right. And much a lot of other things.
And more, right?
Berkshire's
It's like investing in Meta. Meta owns, they own Instagram. They own all these companies.
Yes.
You're buying a company that's going out and doing all these mergers, and they're not just Meta.
Yeah.
They own all these other companies as well at the same time.
I'm into it. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna be back with more energy, because it's all about energy and frequency. Baby.
Energy.
Let's go.
Yes, and we are back to the Vegas Live podcast. My name is Chris Cash.
Alan Turner, the Rhythm Realtor.
Kevin Sherbert.
Special guest Mikey from the American Energy Fund, right?
Let's go.
Yes. So we were talking about personal development,
Personal development.
right? And how you just made
How'd
the
you
change.
say that? Say that again.
Personal development.
Personal.
So I wanted to ask Mikey, you said you started, so obviously you're doing big things right now with investing. Obviously you built your bankroll, you built your empire. You started in solar.
Yep.
Right? So let's tell our listeners a little bit about
Started in solar
that.
here in Las Vegas, right?
So I actually started knocking doors in Baltimore with alarm systems.
Oh,
Okay.
That's a tough business.
Baltimore and DC.
That's
I
tough.
took over an account, and I took it over an ADT account, and they had solar in their house, and I was like, what is this? And they were like,
Right.
it was this program. We're saving like $50 a month. We didn't put money down. Government assisted. And I was like, what the heck? I went to my manager. I was like, George, we're charging people $70 a month for alarm systems that I actually don't even know if they work. Why don't we just like sell people solar and like save them $50 a month, not even charge them $50? Who's gonna say no to that? And he was like, no. Like the turnover time takes too long. And so I ended up coming back home. They had an office here, and I worked for that company called Vision Alarms. And kept getting beat by Solar City. So I said, you can't beat them, join them. And worked my way from the bottom, setting appointments into Home Depot's, Best Buys, to then knocking on doors. And then Nevada shut down Nevada Power. It was like the Elon Musk.
I remember that.
Yeah, Elon Musk versus Warren Buffett. Oh, wow. And they shut down solar here in Nevada 2015. So we moved to Texas. And then they opened it back up. But then I came back, and then it's basically history from there.
I want to hit on that because I remember that happening. Like, when you think Nevada being hot, being the desert, like, why don't we have shit tons of solar?
Yeah.
And there was that time, it was like 2015 or 16, right, when I first came out here, because I came out in 2015, and that was going on. So now you put it together that Warren Buffett owns Berkshire Hathaway, who owns Nevada Power. He was fighting with Elon with like, hey, don't take my power clients. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So that's why that was paused up for a while.
Absolutely.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Get the backstory.
Power struggle.
Because at the end of the day, the Nevada Supreme Court ruled basically that it was unfair for non-solar homeowners to subsidize for the solar homeowners.
Right.
Because now if you have solar, in theory, best case scenario, you have 100 to 120% of your power on your roof.
Right.
You're no longer paying for the transmission fees, delivery fees, and the
power for people that don't have solar goes up.
You're correct.
Okay.
So the cost to maintain the grid and expand the grid goes to everybody else that doesn't have solar.
Right. Not
And
unfair.
they're like, no. And then they said, we want solar. They were picketing and all that. And like, people, like famous people, like it's all over the news.
Right.
And they go, oh, so you guys want solar? And at the 11th hour, they came out with the solar farms right here. The 11th hour, they said, you want solar? Done. Here's the plans. We're putting up solar farms. Solar's done. You want solar, right? We want solar.
Cool. Nevada Energy is going to do solar.
Yep.
Wow.
That's what that crazy shit, like when you're coming into coming into town.
Oh, yeah. So Nevada Energy owns that
Right.
solar
They're like, yeah, we'll give you solar.
from us.
Yeah.
Damn.
So we're a little more complicated than that, but you can,
Right.
think of, you can think of it like that. Yeah, there's a lot of big companies that are out there. It was actually Caesar's Palace that was actually one of the big ones that started it,
Right.
and they ended up staying on the grid. But all of MGM Properties is solar powered from those fields out there.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
from a company like us that would invest into that field, we in theory we could have bought that.
Right.
That wasn't in the
And
industry
how did that open back up? Like, so they had that pause where you couldn't get solar out here, and it was a problem. All this red tape. How did it open back up? Where now you can?
They realized that they couldn't put up enough power plants.
Right.
And they said, okay, it makes sense for us to lose billions of dollars to not have brownouts and blackouts.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool about this state. I mean, you go to move to California. I mean, they take all our power anyway, and
Yeah.
they still don't have enough.
Yeah.
Jesus.
When I lived there, it was like in the summertime, your air conditioner just shut off whenever. If that happened out here, you'd die.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Not good.
Most definitely. So how would somebody like just live off the grid? Like how would you just like can you just buy like can you buy a well? Can you buy like a little solar machine and just live off the grid?
Yeah.
And buy some land? Just be like, none of you guys are touching my money. Like you know, be like
Right.
So you can't legally disconnect. If you're already connected to Nevada Power, you can't legally disconnect. You're going to always have their $15 charge no matter what.
Really?
But in theory, with solar, with batteries, you can actually turn the grid off and be 100% self-sustainable.
Right.
Oh wow.
And-
But that's illegal. Or no?
And it's
still gotta
illegal
pay-
not to
you
have
still-
a contract with
You
them.
still got to pay the $15, right?
Yeah. You have to pay the $15 charge if they connected. If you're building out Mount Charleston, you don't have to have them run power lines out to you. Today, you can buy enough batteries that are not going to fill this entire room. There'll be like 4 on this wall. You won't even notice them, and you can be completely off grid and not have to shower for 2 minutes like military stuff.
Super dope. I don't know where my next question is going, but
No, we were talking about so we were talking about your start in solar. You built that, and then you moved into energy, right? And I think that your question, you asked it in a certain way on our first segment about how does a common person get involved in that? How do these investment packages look? Like, what's the cost? If me and him want to invest in a well, what are we really looking at? Like, do we already have to have money to be able to get into that? Like, how much are we
Takes
talking?
money to make money.
Yeah, I know, but give me a dollar amount, minimum investment.
So most companies that are the difference between American Energy Fund and all these other oil and gas funds
Right.
that are out there is that we don't just invest into oil and gas.
Right.
Most of these companies, if you Google oil and gas investment, you will see drilling companies. They will only do drilling, and they'll promote all these massive tax credits and tax
Right.
benefits. It's active income tax benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why people are really attracted to it, because in real estate, it's only mostly passive unless you're a real estate professional.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah, what's the difference? The active tax benefits.
The tax code is set up by billionaires for billionaires. Real estate is considered a passive investment.
Okay.
Stocks are considered a active investment, even though technically you buy it once and you just let it sit.
Right.
But it's considered active. I'm sorry.
Because you can
I'm sorry,
trade it,
sorry.
right?
It's considered passive. I'm super sorry. The stocks are considered passive, but real estate is passive.
Right.
Energy is considered active.
Why?
The tax code set up by billionaires for billionaires.
yep. Gotta learn the tax code, save some money, baby.
And so as an example, your W-2, when you sell any of the products that you sell, right? You make a commission on selling on a house. That is considered active income.
Right.
Because you're actively working for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Correct. Now, if you go and buy an investment property and you're getting cash flow monthly cash flow from
Rent.
the rental property,
Passive.
and you're not considered a real estate professional, that's passive.
Got it.
And so the majority of people they go into real estate because they want to get tax deductions, not realizing that they don't have any
Tax
They
deductions.
don't have any tax deductions. They don't have any passive losses they don't need passive losses.
Right.
And so that's where energy comes in. Energy is is active. And so like people complain about like, oh, we're subsidizing these oil companies. Well, they're subsidizing solar too. They're subsidizing all of this, but we need
Right.
it.
Yeah,
what-
that need is never gonna go away.
Yeah.
Why don't we have more geothermal here? I mean, it seems like it would be beneficial for a place like Las Vegas.
Yeah.
First off, what's geothermal?
Yeah,
bro?
I'm with you.
So basically, geothermal is like a solar water, thermal water on the roof of the pools.
Right.
Yeah.
That's geothermal,
Oh,
Okay, so
But
it's
it's-
steam.
but it's in the ground.
Okay.
I'm
And
still,
so the
I'm
ground
still-
the ground is super hot. So basically, it's like a U, And they basically, like, think about your car. Your car is like the radiator cycling the water through it, cooling it.
So
Yes.
they get to that magma core or whatever.
Not that far down, but
Okay,
yes.
but
It's
like
not- it's
where it starts getting
it
hot.
gets hot down there, yeah.
Okay, and then they
there's-
just run
there's-
water through it, and then the steam comes back up, and then they power some generator
Yep,
and shit.
powers a turbine, and then that creates power.
Just like nuclear.
Just like nuclear, exactly.
Yeah, the nuclear reactor is hot. It steams water, and then they use a turbine, take the steam. That's how they get energy from that.
Yeah, natural gas is pretty much the same way too. So when you
Right.
burn natural gas, it heats water and then it spins a turbine.
Right.
But back to like, let's say we all wanted to invest. You guys wanted to invest with me. You have to be an accredited investor. So if you're married, $300,000 gross a year, last 2 years in a row, or
Okay.
$1 million net worth, not including your primary residence.
Okay.
If you're single, it's $200,000 a year last 2 years in a row, or again $1 million net worth, not including your primary residence. Or you can have a financial advisory license, like a 65, and now you're officially an accredited investor. That is the red tape. That is the floor seats that none of us get access to. But once you have that accreditation through your CPA, attorney, or financial advisor,
You don't lose it.
You don't. Well, you can lose it technically, because if you lose all your money. Or, now, if you're a millionaire, then yes, you keep it. If you have your 65, your Series 65 financial advisory license, you keep it. But you now have access to all of these additional deals. Like in real estate, if you're a retail investor, you know, odds are, you know, it's not that good of a deal, really. If you're an institutional investor, odds are you're going to make your money. These people that I've been meeting, they just print money. They're ATMs. So if you're an accredited investor, the minimum investment with us is $100,000. So you put in $100,000, we hold it for 7 years. You get 8% a year, massive tax benefits year one, 30 to 40% of the money goes in. So your initial capital, your risk is only $60,000 to $70,000, because you're getting $30,000
over that 7 years.
in tax credits year one.
Okay.
Plus, there's more tax credits over the years, and then you get 8% a year preferred return. And the reason why we don't do more than 8% is because we're recycling the money back into wherever the niche that the market demands.
Right.
So
Right.
when natural gas is high, we drill. When natural gas is low, we buy mineral deeds.
Right.
And so we'll recycle the money and grow the portfolio and deleverage it or de-risk it rather. And at that point, then we go and sell it to private equity, bigger private equity family offices that I know exactly what they want. I got 4 family offices right now that want our portfolio. So at first I was going out and just saying, I'm going to get returns for you guys.
Right.
And then I was like, well, who the heck are we going to sell this to? And so I went and started finding these family offices saying, hey, I'm building this thing. Like, what do you guys want? What's your appetite?
Right.
And now I completely switched it. It's not that I don't care about the investor. I obviously care about the investor, but I have to care about the selling of the assets, because that ultimately then will take care of the investor.
Right.
And so it's 8% preferred return every single year. Last year I think it was a 31% return. It's not bad.
Wow.
Without tax benefits. So on top of that tax benefits, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But we're a diversified. We have a diversified energy portfolio, not just oil and gas, solar.
Right.
These other.
It's all energy.
Yeah.
All encompassing.
I love energy,
Correct.
man. I love it.
I love it.
I love it. So you're saying somebody has $100,000 to invest. They can invest it with your company, and they get 8%? What's 8%?
8%
And then
annually,
it grows.
right?
It grows. It compounds like
Yep.
over the years.
Yeah, so the portfolio continues to grow as it's cash flowing. It's like real estate. As the portfolio, as the oil and gas projects are cash flowing, the solar projects are cash flowing, that helps our multiplier go up. And now then we go and we sell it. And so you're getting your 8% a year, but in reality, we're making 30, 20, 40%. You guys see all the numbers, all that kind of stuff. And then once we sell, all your money back times 2 or 3 or 4.
And then you got to be
Nice.
vested. You said you got to be vested for 7 years.
Yep.
So, like, obviously, you know, you got to this point. What steps did you take to get to this point of knowing all this information? How did you learn all this stuff, and how did you get to this point?
Most of it was for free on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Most of it, YouTube
Yeah.
University.
Right. Yeah.
And then ChatGPT came out.
Yes,
and
yes.
that
Got
helped.
even better.
I bought every oil and gas book, every private equity
Oh,
book,
wow,
every
yeah.
venture capital book you can buy on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Read all of them multiple
Right.
times.
Yeah.
Studied them like my life depended on it.
Yeah.
And started asking questions.
Yeah.
Started doing like LinkedIn outreach, and I moved. I'm from Vegas. This is
Yeah.
where my family's from.
Right.
And I said, if you want to learn Spanish, you move to Mexico City. You want to learn oil and gas, you move to Houston, Texas.
Right.
Oil capital of the world. And so I found out where the largest real estate, the most expensive real estate was. I poked a hole in the middle and I found a high rise. And now now I shop where they shop. I dine where they dine. I play where they play.
Yeah.
And I'm just the new solar kid on the block that has this energy fund.
That's super dope.
It's ironic because they actually want to talk more about solar than they want to talk about oil and gas.
Right.
Really? So
It's crazy.
So solar is kind of like where it's at, or
Shell Energy, right?
Okay.
You know Shell?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Great fuel here. They own a power company that is 100% solar in Texas.
oh wow. Yeah.
Most people
What's
don't know
it
that.
called?
Shell Energy.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So people don't know that most of these companies and countries, the reason why I love solar so much was because I started seeing oil and gas countries like Saudi Arabia, all these massive companies in the Middle East putting up huge solar farms. And I was like,
Right.
okay, if oil and gas is so good, why are they putting up huge solar farms? I don't think these people care about the green. They care about the other green, the money.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I
Absolutely.
was like, okay, I'm on the right track with the solar side. And then I started realizing the investment side
yeah.
and the lending side of it. And I was like, okay, I gotta try this.
It's kind of the way we're going, right?
Yeah,
I mean, like you said before, I mean, the last 4 years with Biden just cutting off oil, you can't do that. But in the future, we do want cleaner energy, and solar's obviously a huge part of that. So even these companies that are selling oil and drilling oil, they're going to invest in that because they're like, well, we don't want to lose our market share.
They've
Right?
already invested into it.
Right.
Exactly.
Let's say, because like you see a lot of land that's like for sale that's out of nowhere.
Yep.
You know, say like why don't people just
Put up solar farms.
exactly?
It depends. It's like drilling an oil and gas well and not having a pipeline near you. So the problem is can you get trucks out there?
Okay.
Like the gas trucks that you guys see.
Right.
Yeah.
They have the same trucks that go out to these oil wells. They call them batteries, or basically big storage tanks,
Right.
where the oil and gas sits. So they drill right here, and then
Sits in a tank.
50 yards
Right.
away. These 4, 5, 6 tanks, massive tanks that have a ton of oil and gas in oil in them, and the trucks have to come get them. So if you wanted to do a solar farm, usually it's a pretty doggone good investment.
Yeah.
Hard part is that if there's not power lines there,
Yeah. How are you
have
gonna tap in?
Okay.
which is why wind turbines are very hard, because there's a loss when you're
Transporting. Yeah.
transporting or transmissioning the energy.
Does that go for the same thing with data centers too? Getting that data, even like if we have Wi-Fi or anything like that, it's just
So data centers are ultimately the problem right now. Data centers, AI, and cryptocurrency.
Takes so much power to run them.
And they're nonstop. They're 24/7.
Yeah.
A one medium-sized data center is pulling the same amount of power as half of Vegas, as Henderson.
Right.
Right.
So
One data center.
Yeah.
And they're putting up. There's already 11 that are in contract in Texas right now. And where are we going to get that energy from? We're not putting up more nuclear plants, natural gas power plants.
Now, you just brought that up. I read something recently about someone who's in AI. I think was it Bill Gates?
Bill Gates is in that.
Was it Bill Gates that like is partnering with one of our old or like rehabbing one of our old nuclear power plants in order to do a data center? So I think that's the answer.
It is.
Although everybody's still fearful of like what happened in the 80s and 70s and 60s, but I think technology's caught up enough to where like I think nuclear is, the future.
It's the way.
So here's some cool breakthroughs with nuclear. Is they now have small modular nuclear reactors, and there's a company now that can take Yucca Mountain out here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So all that radiation is just basically waste nuclear. And so now that one company, there's a couple of them now, but that company was able to recycle that nuclear and get 80% more energy out of the nuclear that was just sitting in that waste. And so now with again in America, we're innovators, right? We're going to figure it out one way or the other. And so now these companies are innovating, right? And they're now able to reuse the nuclear waste and get roughly 80% of the power back out of it. It is badass. The other big breakthrough was pretty recent. Is that you can't turn nuclear off. They can turn nuclear off now.
Oh wow.
How do they do that?
Off switch, bro. There's an off switch. Okay.
It's obviously a reaction, right? That's very scientific.
Yeah.
So like
They can undo it.
so why don't they just have the data center and have
That's what they're
the solar or
Nuclear.
nuclear is
All of
better.
it, yeah.
Yeah. You
All
just
of it. Solar, nuclear. Why don't they do that? Answer the question. Why don't they do that?
money.
money.
No, not even money.
So can I do that?
They have the money.
So can I do that? Like, well, I don't know. Like,
It's the glass shard in your shoe. It's the government
okay.
regulations. You know how long it takes to get a nuclear power plant permitted in this country? Almost 40 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's not.
I was gonna say
I
40
think- yeah, I
years.
think it'll work.
40 years.
A piece of paper that needs to go from my desk to your desk to your desk to your desk to get approved takes 30, 40
For,
years.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to solve the
Probably a stack
problem,
of them.
if you want to solve this problem of us going overseas for really most of the time stupid wars, love the military, respect the military, but
Thank you
we
for
need
your
to-
service.
Yeah, absolutely. But we need to fix this American interest in oil and gas and come back on shore. And if we put nuclear power plants, these small modular nuclear reactors in all the major cities, a couple of them, we can solve the problem. We can solve the problem. But with these data centers, they're now having to have some sort of solar, wind, but
Their own
unfortunately,
power source,
Their own
right?
power source, exactly. And yes, a lot of them will have the small modular nuclear reactors.
But that can't be safe. Putting
I think-
a nuclear
well, that's what- that's the
reactor,
scare.
like
That's
in the
the-
middle
so-
of a city.
That's
right?
the fear, right?
Yeah.
That's the fear because now it's a target, right? But so
Right.
is a dam.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's not as much, right?
Right.
But when you say these small modular nuclear reactors, right? And just like we did with all of this other, like, you know, this is just thought. But how small can it get?
Like a 5,000 square foot house.
Right. What did it used to be? Like a regular old nuclear reactor.
Like the size of an airport.
Right.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we,
Okay.
I mean, we went from, you know, computers that were the size of rooms
Yeah.
down to, you know, this little tiny chip in your phone.
Exactly.
Right.
So why can't we do that, you know?
American innovation, baby.
Yeah.
We
We're-
will
we-
get there, but
I
how long?
want to encourage you guys. It is getting there.
Right.
You know,
You're just not seeing it. But now that we're talking about energy, you'll start seeing Google and Facebook and all these people. They're going to start sending you stuff about energy.
Right.
It is super cool, man. Like really, honestly, like the colleges, the universities that are really pumping money into this, it's the reason why I would rather watch college basketball, college football than I would watch professionals, because those guys have to fight to get to the next level.
Right.
Right.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing in the innovation within the universities.
Oh, wow.
They are
It's very competitive.
very competitive,
Yeah.
and they're trying,
Yeah.
and they have all this money, so they're doing it.
Nice.
super dope. All right. well,
Either way, if you want to invest in energy, start by investing into stocks.
Okay.
Okay.
Get your feet wet in it,
Okay.
Okay.
and then if you have, you know,
Basically, build your wealth up to that point where we get past the red line, and then you can
Okay.
call them.
How about this? For the people listening that want to get to that point where they can invest in energy and have that $100,000 just to, you know, invest in it and play with it. What are the steps that they need to take to be able to get there?
start with saving $100,000.
Okay.
Right? I would say put it into a Capital One high yielding savings account, so it's earning 3, 4, 5%.
Okay.
Let it sit there. Label it your money machine,
Okay.
and then say take 5, 10, 20% of every paycheck. You can even a dollar out of every paycheck,
Right.
and that way you have something in the future to look forward to.
Okay.
And so now, instead of you going out and buying the new car, the new shoes that you don't need, now you're like, hey, instead of me buying a new phone or new shoes that I really don't need, they're going to sit on with all the other shoes on the shelf.
Right.
I'm going to put that $150 into this money machine
Yeah.
account, and then eventually, within time, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, you have that money.
Nice.
And then once you have that money and your money's making money, then you can go buy the shoes and all the bullshit
Yeah.
you don't need.
From the money that you made, from the money that
right.
got it made.
But
yeah.
you didn't have to actively do it. It's passive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and then you recently started the fund, right? Like,
Yeah,
and
3
then
years
you
ago.
had you had to learn everything about that and everything.
Yeah.
I want to ask you more questions about that after the break. Okay, we're gonna do that. Rolling over here, and we are back to the Vegas Life podcast. My name is Chris Cash.
Alan Turner, the Rhythm Realtor.
Kevin Sherbert and special guest.
I wanted him to
Mikey Lucas from
There you go.
American Energy Fund.
You're part of the crew now.
Let's go.
You know what I
Hey.
mean?
I made it.
Welcome
You know
to
what
the
I'm saying?
family. Here's your death row chain.
Let's go.
And then
I don't
you-
have it on me right now, but
And then you said something about like being from Vegas, man, and then something about being from Vegas, and then me, like, you know, I wanted to be an entertainer, and I wanted to tour the world and see what was going on. Then I realized Vegas is the world, bro.
I was just
Right.
Like I will go and do a show at some place,
in LA.
Arizona.
and I'll be like, why is everything closing so early? Like, what? There's nothing to do.
They're
Like,
all sleeping.
What
I
is
was
this
like-
last call? What is that?
I was like, I want to go home. Like, I want to go home. So I did that, and I just kind of like, you know, trying to figure out something where I can do everything virtually. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, Vegas life, baby, Vegas life. So I wanted to talk to you about the fund and starting the fund. You know, because me, I'm an avid YouTube
University learner.
YouTube
Student.
learner, Chat GPT connoisseur.
Yeah.
You know, and then I got into like building a fund and creating a fund, and then like 'cause I seen this podcast. This guy was talking about, a fund, that's a license to print money. all you got like these are certain things that you got to do, and what it is actually starting a company to be able to raise money to invest in it and to you know, do the things that you need to do.
Print money.
What is Shark Tank? Shark Tank is
pitch.
each one of those. That's not Kevin O'Leary. I was with him last night. That's not his money.
Oh,
Yeah, he
look
has
at
some-
me,
that's his
look at me,
fund
Louis,
money.
over here.
Yeah,
I was just, you know,
Name
yeah.
drop real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
pick that name up you just dropped there, buddy.
yeah,
So if you like watching Shark Tank,
yeah.
Right.
I love it.
that literally is how to underwrite and how to do diligence on deals. They are that is
Yes.
private equity. Sometimes I guess most of it's venture capital.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Venture capital, I don't like venture capital. Venture capital is very risky. It's like investing early on in Uber.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, okay, yeah, we all say, oh, we would invest into it now, but back then you're like, taxis, they're not going to leave taxis. No, I'm not
Right.
investing. That's venture capital.
Mm-hmm.
Private equity guys, they're all about mostly about total return.
Right.
Venture capital is like the moonshots. Like,
Okay.
That's where you just
Okay.
throw it and see if it works.
They're like gambling,
Yes.
basically.
Very
yeah,
much-
if
very
you
much.
have a quick mill to just throw out there and see if
Yeah.
it's going to be
but
Yeah.
they're
Next
doing like
thing.
100 mil,
right.
Yeah.
200 mil,
shit.
500 mil.
That's where it's at. No, because I got into real estate because, you know, to get money, right? Like real estate. But then I realized the real estate game. Then I was like, okay, that's one level
Yeah,
of it.
Yep.
And then what's
Master the one.
And then what's the next level? Private equity.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can invest in a home or you can invest in a company.
Yep.
And then, you know,
Just keeps going.
it just keeps going, you know. You just,
That goes and buys land, that develops land,
Yeah.
that develops that builds communities,
Right.
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
You can invest in the companies that are the construction companies that build them.
Right.
I mean, there's so many asset classes that are out there that people don't know about, and you know why? Because they want you to invest into your 401k.
Oh,
They
yeah.
tell you how much you can invest, how much you can invest, when you can pull it out,
Yeah.
what you can invest into.
Don't
How
don't
much
pull
you're
it out
gonna tax on
without
it.
without paying us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
all the
and then
fees.
that money is what they use to invest
That's
in
correct.
what they need
Right.
to invest in. So
That's correct.
that is that's amazing. Do you have any book recommendations for people out there?
100%. What do you want to know? What area do you want to know about?
Let's do like financing, or let's do like building a company, right? Because we're talking about investing in companies.
Okay.
Like what would be some good books on that?
So if you're an entrepreneur and you're
Yeah.
running a company, I highly recommend reading and studying Principles by Ray Dalio.
Oh, I love that book.
Great
Yeah,
book.
yeah,
I mean, in the back, the story, you can, if you don't really want to know about Ray Dalio's story, whatever, largest hedge fund, you have to be a $50 million net worth and have something like $20 million and 30 years ago to even give him money. He doesn't even accept money now.
Right.
But in the back of the book, where the red lines are at, after that, he goes through all these situations. What do you do when your assistant leaves and you don't know what to do now? Your partner does this or whatever. He's got all these situations on principles of what to do. It's very, very good. Business development is also scaling up. It's the Rockefeller's way of how to build a business. Traction, phenomenal book. I believe it's Geo Wickman. And Traction, and I would say the last one is going to be, Geo Wickman has Traction and Get a Grip. And then my most favorite one as of right now that I've read 4 or 5 times a year, the last 2 years in a row, it just came out. It's called Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell.
I love that.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I love that.
my
Yeah.
God. I mean,
Yes,
completely
that's amazing.
blew my mind about how to become more efficient, effective, and productive. And hiring, he gives you templates. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, dude,
Yes.
It's like a
follow-
I have
blueprint.
no idea what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm a college dropout. I have no clue. I've never run a company my entire life. I've never been a leader. I've always been skipped over. I have no idea what I'm doing. You can find that through YouTube videos for free,
Yes.
or
Right.
buying a $20 book that somebody put their entire life into.
Right.
I'm trying.
They already
I'm
did
trying
the
to
work.
I'm trying to get there much faster.
Yeah.
To get there, you need a little bit of explicit knowledge, and these people are willing to put that into a book. God bless them. And now
yeah.
you can skip 15, 20 years. Why do you got to pay the stupid tax?
Yeah.
Right.
And you can put that information into your AI, into your chat GPT.
Oh my
Once you
God.
get that information, then you can customize
Train it.
and you're just
I've got multiple GPTs that I built.
you built GPTs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I have,
Yeah.
because you definitely got to prompt them in the way that you want to.
Prompting is the hardest part of AI. So if you can learn, if you want to get into AI, you want to go to YouTube and go to Instagram and just look up AI prompting.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
listen and then go and try it. Literally last night I was driving home in an Uber and I was watching Dan Martell video and he's like, "This is the best 4 things you need to tell about your
Yeah.
I'll pull it up right now." He's
Yeah.
like, "This is the best 4 things you need to know about how to prompt AI." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Sweet.
Yeah, pull it up.
I'm obviously
I
gonna-
love
I'm
Dan
obviously gonna
Martell.
listen to this.
Yeah.
You need to tell it to roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I need you're going to be my marketing expert strategist, right? And then you tell it the context. Okay, I'm releasing an article. This is exactly what I did last night.
Yeah.
I'm releasing an article that I'm speaking at SolarCon, which just happened. And and then you tell it the command. I want you to write a compelling, you know, whatever, a compelling statement that shows that I'm the influence credible and I have the authority in the solar space. And then the format, I want you to write it in, you know, I want you to write it in LinkedIn format or an Instagram format or X format, or I want you to write it like a Wall Street Journal format, or, you know, I want you to put it in bullet points.
Yeah.
Right. Like on the way over here, I was like messing with ChatGPT. I was like, tell me, you want to know it? I'll tell you guys right now. This is my prompt.
Yeah.
This is good. This is really good.
Wait, just tell me off air. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
All right, so this was my prompt on the way over here. Just because, why not?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't listen to music, so I'm gonna. But then I play ChatGPT, listening back to me because I'm obviously driving, not reading. I want to be my PR specialist. Give me some bullet points so that when I go on a podcast, I know exactly how to explain why, what, and how American Energy Fund works.
Yeah. Boom.
And then it gave me all that.
Beautiful.
And then another reprompt. It said, would you like me to have a condensed elevator version? These are things that I already know, but I was like, screw it. You might as well. I mean, you never know. You might get some good stuff out of it.
Right.
Would you like me to condense an elevator version for the podcast intros 30 seconds segment? Yes. I said, yes, please. And then I told it, hey, I need you to update your database because it only said we invest in oil and gas. And I was like, we don't invest only in oil and gas. Update your database so that you know that we invest in a solar, nuclear, and geothermal. And he's like, yes, sir. I'll do that for you.
Nice. I love it.
The big thing that I'm doing in AI right now is the AI agents.
Yes.
So as much as I love people, I'm kind of sick of it. You need key man. You need people that are in charge of your business.
Right.
But at the end of the day, AI, unfortunately, is going to be taking over a lot of jobs. Let me just calm it down for a second. With the businesses that were selling wheels to the horse and buggies, what happened to those once the cars came around?
Gone.
They had to adapt, right?
Yeah.
So adapt or die. So it's going to happen again. There's going to be a lot of job loss. They're saying 40% of jobs are going to be lost in the next 5 to 10 years.
Right.
The Philippines is scared as crap because a lot of their income comes from working in overseas as virtual assistants, executive assistants. So they're really, really afraid of it. But if you can get really good at prompt engineering, you'll never not have a job. But at the end of the day, I'm building AI bots, they call them agents, that will do things for me, like sell and chat or set appointments or build things for the company. You know, like I don't need to know how to code. AI will code for you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So instead of employee training, you're just training AI.
And they don't get sick, they don't get pregnant, and they don't complain.
And they listen, and they listen.
The hard part is actually figuring out how to prompt it. So at the end of the day, if you don't know how to use AI now, you're going to get left behind, especially in real estate. I mean, I've been telling my mom this. She's in real estate here as well. Berkshire Hathaway, I was top 5 as an individual agent, and I keep telling her, I'm like, hey, like you need to get into AI. You need to get into AI. Now she uses AI for everything.
Yeah,
and it took her like 4 or 5 years to get into it, but I was like, Mom, like, and that's why I had to walk her through it because she's old school, and now she's like freaking using AI for everything.
Yeah. Dude, that's definitely the world I've been in, like just the last few months, just in that world, just creating and building through AI, building the AI agents. I asked a lot of people, every guest this, what's your daily routine?
So I don't. Most people they want to know your morning routine. My nighttime routine, I believe, is more important than my morning routine. Even though my morning routine is pretty strict, my nighttime routine is more important. Okay. So no food 2 hours before bed. Mm-hmm. Okay. I take a ton of supplements. Okay. So like magnesium and things like that. Sometimes small amount of melatonin. No screens. An hour before I go to bed. The lights in my house are red.
Red.
No blue lights. Yeah, we have red lights. They turn smart lights.
Wait, like they're actually red?
Red. So they're white like this, and then you flip it, and at a certain time, it turns to red.
What's the reason for that? Expand.
Yeah.
And so I'm not an expert in this, but I do know that if you have your phone, the blue light, it basically like these are daylight light bulbs, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so daylight light bulbs are daylight. How do you go to bed in the daylight?
Right.
And so you want the softer white. So if you can you can put in smart light bulbs or basically light bulbs in your house, either can lights or light bulbs themselves, that can change. And so you can set them up now on timers to start in the daytime as daylight, like these are here, and then in the evening they can go to soft white, and now you can even turn them into red. And so the blue light, it basically it triggers your brain to stay awake. And at the end of the day, we're all entrepreneurs. We probably sleep 4 to 6 hours if we're lucky at night. Last night, guess how much hours I got sleep? Not even 2 hours. Not even 2 hours. It's pretty wild. But I'm traveling. It is what it is. So when I get sleep, I need to make sure I'm getting quality sleep.
Right.
I sleep with what's called a chili pad. So my bed has a pad on it that is chilled down to 64 degrees. Because men, my wife has hers on hot. I don't know why, but she does. But men, if you're tossing and turning, you're not getting the quality sleep that you need.
Right.
And so the reason why you're tossing and turning is because you're hot. Your body's trying to turn because I'm starting to sweat. I need to turn over. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like, oh well, I got to put the fan on. I don't like the fan because it makes me stuffy. Okay, well then turn your AC down to 68, 64 degrees, and maybe you don't want to do that. So what you can
Not yet.
do,
Jesus.
Not out here.
I know, right?
$500 a month.
Right, exactly. So what you can do is you can buy an Uller or chili pad and have it cooled so you sleep significantly better. And so I focus on how do I wind down.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have to be wound up, as you guys can probably tell. I'm
Right.
not even 2 hours asleep, and I'm ready to roll. But I need to focus how to wind down because I don't know, not that I don't know how, but before I didn't know how to turn off.
Yeah.
They always like to say, I've got 2 speeds on and off. And I'm like, I don't know where the off button's at. And so that's the hard part. So I've noticed really in the last couple of months that I'm really intrigued on what's happening globally, geopolitics, all that kind of stuff, and the markets, the financial markets. And so I'm like watching YouTube videos, and it gets me. My blood pressure, my
anxiety,
my pulse
probably everything
goes up.
Yeah.
How do you calm down for that? And so almost every single night, I will do what's called Normatec. So it's a leg compressions. And so what I've noticed is that I've got a Whoop, I've got the Oura Ring, and I've got the Apple Watch. I'm doing all of it, whatever. The Whoop, what I found out is that when I do what I was going into high stress into sleep, and it would take me an hour or 2 to come back down to rest. And I was like, I got to fix this. And I couldn't figure that out on the Oura Ring. I've had Oura Ring for years. I just got this Whoop this Christmas, and Santa dropped it off. It was nice. So what I realized was I need to figure out how to get my stress level, my strain level down. So now it's like, okay, how do I get that? Do that. If you do Normatec before you go to bed, 20, 30 minutes, it comes down dramatically. So now I'm getting quality sleep. So it's not about necessarily 8 hours of sleep, but if I can get 4 hours of sleep, I need to get quality REM, deep sleep.
Right.
And so the wind down is the important part. As entrepreneurs, we are go. Let alone if you have kids. I mean, it's chaos, right? At all times. You have clients calling you. You guys don't stop. Mortgage, real estate. You guys don't stop. You have to answer your phone at 9:30 at night.
Right.
Client's like, my water pipe broke. I'm like, I'm your realtor. I'm not your. But they call you because that's what they're there for, right? Because you obviously want to resell the house when they move. And so figuring out how to wind down was the most important part. When I wake up, typically I do not get on my phone. I do not want to meet with the world before I meet with God. Yeah. I want to get into some sort of spiritual, motivational, instructional, whether it's YouTube, I'll turn on a pastor, I'll turn on Tony Robbins, I'll turn on
This is in
Thomas.
the morning.
In the morning now. Now, transition back to the morning. So I need to, typically, I'm not a morning person, but I realized that I needed to wake up earlier and figure out how to be a morning person. And so what I did was I basically put not music on, but those I listen to Jim Rohn a lot. So I'll put on Jim Rohn in the morning, and as I'm in the shower, as I'm cooking breakfast, whatever, I am listening to something, even if it's subconscious, I'm still getting it.
Right.
Instead of listening to, country music, rap music, rock music, EDM, whatever, I'm able to collect my thoughts, and then I start to write.
Okay.
And I typically will journal 5-10 minutes. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes less. And if I'm not writing, I'll just do it in my phone. And that, for whatever reason, has helped me because I'm such not a scatterbrain, but I move so fast. Being able to write on my phone or text it helps me with I need to do this one thing. I need to do this too.
Yeah.
So I started with that because of one of the sales guys, Brian Tracy, who was at that event yesterday as well. He said to put a pad next to your bed. And so if you wake up in the middle of the night, can't go back to bed, usually
just
it's
write it
something,
down.
especially as entrepreneurs, write it down.
Yeah.
And so that helps a lot too. But as far as the routine goes, I don't really listen to books. I'm sorry, I don't really listen to music. I listen to more books or not a lot of podcasts, but I do podcasts. But I try to get them into shorter, like the 5-minute clips of the podcast. Yeah. Like Joe Rogan's 3-hour podcast. I'll just listen to the 20-minute version of it.
Right.
Yeah.
The highlights.
The highlights of it.
But
Cliff notes.
Gym, breath work, affirmations. I do the Tony Robbins affirmations, not on a daily basis. Now I'm not Tony Robbins yet. But, there's incantations and affirmations that I say to myself about where I'm going, what I'm doing, who I belong to, and what my value is, so that when I go out into the world, I don't get cut off and say, "Go F yourself." I go, "Ooh, they might be late for work." Maybe they didn't.
Right.
Maybe they don't have a a babysitter was late or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And so if I can adjust how I see the world, I can live a much happier lifestyle.
Right.
Super
Way
dope.
less
Sounds
stress.
crazy, but
No, it's-
again,
it-
and I'm not perfect at it. I'm not
Yeah.
perfect at it. But I do it more consistent now than I did 10 years ago, 5
Yeah.
years ago, even last year.
And that's the key, consistency.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And
Yeah.
consistency over intensity. Most people, they try to get on a diet or regimen, whatever. New Year's resolution, and I'm sure all of us have already broke our New Year's resolutions.
Especially this guy over here.
Once a day, it started over every day.
No, I love everything you're saying, because that's the exact. I feel like you chat GPT'd me or something, and you got
Might have.
you got everything that I'm doing now. It's like, whoa.
He's got an agent on
What
your
do you
ass,
do?
bro.
You know what I mean? But anything else we want to talk about before we get up out of here? Because I feel like we could go on for longer. But anything
Right.
else we want to talk
I mean,
about?
I'm free if you guys want to keep going.
I'm
What value do you guys need? How can I serve you?
Well,
man.
Well, I mean, there were so many nuggets with
You
this
dropped a lot of
podcast,
gems,
bro.
man.
Like, I mean, just
For sure.
that last segment right now. I mean, I think that we have a little bit of what your routine is.
Yeah.
Centering yourself in the morning. I do that. Because I don't want to be, like you said, biting someone's head off or road raging in the morning. Thinking about where other people is coming from. That's what I took from that. I'm not as good as winding down and sleeping this amount of
Yeah,
hours,
get
or
into
maybe I
that,
sleep
bro.
too much hours, but not good sleep. So that's
important.
I'm
You
gonna
wanna stay healthy.
start thinking about that.
Even 20
Yeah.
minutes before bed. Just
Right.
turn everything off.
I actually
Yeah.
got a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's your barber, man? You got a great hair regimen. You left that out of the whole routine, man. What's going on with
His
that?
name is Prince. He's out in Houston.
Okay, H-Town. I
I'll
gotta
give-
come
I'll
see you out
I'll
there.
give you guys his Instagram.
Yeah, man.
All right. How
For
about
sure.
this? How about how do you like Houston compared to Vegas?
Vegas is home, man.
Yeah.
Vegas is home. But my family comes. My dad's family comes from Portugal, and they are all entrepreneurs. So it's in my blood, and that was one of the breakthroughs that I had to find about 10 years when I started my self-mastery journey. Was this is in my blood?
Yeah.
Like, this is who my uncles are.
Mm-hmm.
They all were tuna fishermen. They owned big boats.
Yeah.
Now, if the tuna was in Panama or Mexico, they would go to wherever the tuna was biting.
Right.
And so for me, I realized that if I was going to start on this new venture and go get into this private equity world and oil and gas and learn all this big energy stuff, I had to burn the boats and leave. I had to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, which is something I've had to work on.
Right.
It looks like, I'm getting distracted for a second, but it looks like I'm very disciplined. I'm such an undisciplined person, it's not even funny. But I put things in place that make sure that I am disciplined. I am so undisciplined, it's not even funny. But I put things in place to make sure that I am disciplined. Anyways, back to Houston versus Vegas. I was telling you guys earlier, they are confused. They call their clubs
Yeah.
clubs, but to us, they're just like a bar. They're just
Yeah.
a
Oh
bar.
yeah.
Bars,
We're
yeah.
spoiled in Vegas. I love Vegas.
Don't get me wrong. Houston's a really happening place. It's really cool, right? The rodeo, we were talking about that earlier. It's just different. Texas, they do everything bigger there. It is bigger. But, they go out at 6, and we don't even start pregame until 10:30, 11.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts.
We're taking a disco nap.
No, they're leaving at 11.
charging.
It's weird.
Facts.
It's very
That's
interesting.
Crazy.
So the main differences between Houston or Texas, 'cause I lived in Dallas for a while too, is that you got a plan. It's kind of like having an EV. You got a plan to make sure that if you want food or you want to go to the gym, 24 hours is not 24 hours there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like that here anymore, but like since COVID, like they're not 24 hours.
Mostly, it's getting back there.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Vegas life.
grocery stores are not 24 hours.
Yeah.
We're back to 24 hours now, right? Most of them, or at least a few of them.
Getting there, like 12, 1. There is like you can
Took so
catch
many
like
years
a
for COVID to
a
go away.
Walgreens that's 24 hours. Like there's only select ones around the valley.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had Zachary Devon too.
He was from Houston.
From Muse.
Houston.
Yeah.
He was okay.
Yeah. He's got the
Okay.
Muse office in Houston. So,
H-Town, baby.
Okay.
yeah, we got to get you guys connected.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, Houston's a great area, but again, for me, it was I would live in North Dakota if that's where the fish were biting.
Right.
I will do whatever it takes. I'm a problem solver, and I'm going to make things more efficient, effective, and productive, and I'm going to grow and solve as many problems as I possibly can. If that means I need to go to North Dakota, move to Alaska, I will do whatever it takes.
Right.
I don't know about Alaska, man. Alaska don't seem like.
You got to go with fish bite, bro.
Oh, it's cold in Alaska, man. I don't know about that. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, this is great, man. Yeah. So
Learn how to find other alternative assets, not just real estate. Yes, build a real estate. What is the most millionaires are built in?
Real estate.
Real
Yeah.
estate. Okay. So yes, you have to have a real estate portfolio. Yes, you have to have a stock portfolio. Yes, you have to have some Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, if you want to invest like a billionaire, you have to start looking at what are these people investing into? What are the products that we're already using? It's energy. Houses use energy. Cars use energy. Why not go from a consumer to investor? But I'm glad that your listeners and you guys now know that this is oil money.
Get that oil money,
go.
baby.
All right, man.
Oil money, baby. Vegas life. All right, anything else?
It's funny. I take investors out to the oil fields all the time, and I just got back from Dallas. We have an oil field out there where it's a Chevron. It's like a four corners of like Chevron, Shell, Texaco, and Exxon, and I brought my Tesla out there, and I was like, it was the
Swinging donuts.
it was the money shot. The Model X doors were up in front of the oil and gas well pumping. I was like,
super lit.
oh, dude, I have to show you guys. It was awesome because, being a solar guy going into the oil business, or like,
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm making money. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. I actually have more questions, but I gotta go pick up my kids.
We can have him back, right?
Yeah, we can have you
Yes,
back, right?
please.
You know what I'm saying? And talk more. This is super dope. Anything else before we go?
No,
AI,
I'm good.
biohacking.
Oh man.
I said I have more questions, but one
Yeah, I know.
Save it for another show.
have
We got another
We're
episode.
gonna have to do episode 2.
yeah, we're
Yes,
gonna do it.
please.
When are you coming back to Vegas again?
There's a wedding sometime in the summertime, so I'll come back.
There we
right,
go.
man.
Summertime. We'll see you again.
Get us in contact.
Vegas Live
Man,
Podcast.
thank you so much, man.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Peace. Buddha bless.